Greetings, beautiful, beautiful butterflies in transformation just like me. We are at the beach today. Come and sit on the sand with me. I hope that you are doing well. You're with Tanisha Ali, and I am here to help you find clarity, to help you to heal and clear energetic blockages by bringing them up in your awareness so that you can see, so that you can up-level your mindset, so that you can manifest the glory of God that is within you. That is you. So you're joining me today, and we're going to be talking a bit about vibration, what that is, why it's important to you, and why you need to stick around till the end of this video and chime in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also check me out on IamMelaninMagic.com. All right, let's dig into it. What are we talking about? We talk about vibration. We talk about frequency. In a very literal way, we're talking about how fast something vibrates, right? The slower something vibrates, the denser and slower it is. The faster it vibrates, the quicker and faster moving it travels and impacts change, all right? The less dense it is, the less physical it is. We vibrate very slowly, so we see this. You see me, and no matter what, if I tell you that I'm just a mass of space and emptiness in between these so-called atoms and molecules, and what is really underneath that is consciousness, energy, information, then it would be hard to believe because you see the physical aspect, all right? But we are vibrating at a very slow wavelength, which makes our physicality very apparent. As we move up, for example, to the higher chakras and we deal with sound and we deal with thought energy, things are moving much faster. That energy vibrates much more quickly, right? Which is why you can get on a plane and travel to see someone. It takes forever, but at the same time, if you send them a message telepathically, it gets there like that, right? That's a faster moving, higher frequency. In a universe that is frequency based, that is vibrational, it's important for us to know how the energetic and spiritual principles work, whether we like them or not, whether you associate them with the law of attraction and all that other semantic vernacular. That's irrelevant. The issue is that there are certain laws that we are held bound to in this universe at this particular level at this time, and until you know what they are, you can't leverage them. And the more that you understand them, the more that you can leverage them and use them to your advantage. And vibration, the whole concept that everything in the universe is based on vibration, period, no matter what it is, and that everything that happens in the universe is involving vibration, and that we attract things to us, we magnetize things to us, and by the same token we repel things from us based on a vibrational frequency. When you are living your life and you're trying to accomplish certain things in your life, and you are in relationships with individuals and you are trying to strive for a certain quality of life, vibration is the conversation. It's the only thing that is important, because the people that are in your life are in your life vibrationally. When you move away from those people, it's important to understand that you no longer vibrate with those individuals. And so because your vibrations now repel one another, you will no longer be in each other's orbit, so to speak. So how does that, what is the point of all of that? The reason why it's important is because when you want certain things in your life to change, whether it is your finances, whether it is your health, whether it is your relationships, whether it is any experience that you may be having in your workplace, in your personal life, in your interpersonal life, in your intellectual life, in terms of your mental energy, you must first shift your vibration. You cannot shift your vibration. You cannot not shift your vibration and expect to have another level of experience in your life. It simply will not happen. As long as you remain at a certain vibration, you will have the experiences that correlate and correspond with that particular vibration. It's law. That is the way it actually works. And so what does that mean, and why is that important? Because if I want to attract a different level of financial abundance into my life, I have to first begin to shift the energy of my finances in my current life, the way I feel about my finances, the way I think about my finances, literally my physical relationship with my financial situation, and so forth and so on. Until I do that, I'm going to remain at the same vibration, and I'm going to attract the same kinds of situations in my life as it relates to my finances. And not until I begin to change my habits, my behaviors, my attitudes, and the energy around my finances will that shift. Now, do we get mercy from the universe, from God, from the Creator? Do we have monies and so forth bestowed upon us to show us the miracles that are possible in this classroom of earth that we're in? Yeah. But here again comes the laws of vibration. It's like if you hit the lottery. We hear these stories all the time about celebrities that come into large sums of money, people who play the lottery that come into large sums of money, and then you find them a few years later and they're penniless. They may be in bankruptcy court. They may have lost everything. The reason is because even if you draw something into your life, okay, if that is not a matching vibration for where you are abundantly, you're going to eventually lose that thing. You can't possibly hold on to it because you don't vibrate with it. If you attract abundance into your life and you have a mentality of scarcity, all right, and you have a mentality of holding on tight to something, or either not respecting it enough and dishonoring your money and spending it like a nut, you're going to lose that, or you won't be able to maintain it and grow it. The same is true with a relationship. The people who are in your life at any given time come in because they match some aspect of your vibration, even if it's a karmic situation. Twin flame, soulmate, the whole thing. They come in because they match something within you. When you solve that riddle, or when you overcome that lesson, or when you elevate to the next level, that energy match dissipates and you're able to go on your merry way. But until you do, you're going to be entangled in that relationship, learning one lesson after the other, until it becomes a time where it's time for you to part because you've grown to the next level, or you have actualized to a different point. The same is true when you try to attract someone into your life that you are not a match for. You may want the perfect relationship. You may want that masculine or that feminine that values you, that loves you, that understands you, that actually sees you, that can see your gifts and talents, that understands who you are, that feels that you are that match for them. Let's say you're not in the right vibrational frequency for that. You can't even line up to it. You can't even see it. Okay, you could be walking amidst your next soulmate day in and day out and never see that person because the frequencies simply don't attract one another. You may not be attracted to that person because your frequency in whatever it is you're broadcasting is sending out messages to an entirely different caliber of individual. So literally, you may not even be paying that person any attention. But at the same time, once you grow to a certain point in your evolution, if that person matches that frequency that I just spoke of a minute ago, and you've grown to embrace that frequency within yourself, now you can see that person and you can come into union with that individual. The reverse of that, or the converse of that, is that let's say you bring somebody into your life that is absolutely wonderful, but you are not at a place to receive that person because you have not done the vibrational work that is needed to have been done. That person will come into your life, but you will never be able to keep them. You will simply never be able to keep them. And at that particular time, you two have circled into each other's life for a particular lesson, and you will part. And no matter how much you want that person in your life, you won't be able to keep them in your life because the vibrations simply don't match. And that's why this is so important. Oftentimes we can find ourselves in a vortex, in an experience where we're in and out of different relationships, and we are not quite understanding perhaps why these relationships are not working, or which relationships we need to invest in, which relationships we don't need to invest in, what it is we need to understand about these relationships. That is why on this channel, I have a few videos where I talk about twin flames, false twin flames, karmics and so forth, soulmates and so forth and so on. It's not important the name, but we give something a name so that we can relate to something and have a more intimate understanding of something that we need to know that helps us on our journey. So when I talk about these relationships, outside of the name that those relationships have been given, the reason why it's important is because it helps you to define what kind of relationship you are in, so that you can understand what it is you're supposed to be getting from that relationship, and you can move through that relationship, move more into that relationship, or move out of that relationship, depending upon your understanding of the dynamics of what kind of relationship you are in. For example, if you come to understand that you're in a karmic relationship, then you automatically know this relationship is not going to last. You automatically know there's a very serious lesson that speaks to a weakness that I have, something that continues to be oppressive energy or devil energy, or something that keeps me in emotional bondage, or something that is toxic about my aspect that is being mirrored in this person. And the sooner I am willing to face that and deal with that and exercise self-restraint and discipline and move away from that which no longer serves me and that which harms me and that which is destructive to my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health, then I can leave that relationship, and I've gotten that lesson. And as I get that lesson, I begin to shift in my vibrational frequency, because those particular thought forms, chemical releases, energetic imprints, physical and mental behaviors that hold and lock me in that vibrational and vibration and keep me imprisoned to that level of experience begin to be broken up, which results in a rewiring of sorts and a shift in the way I think and a shift in the way I live my life. And so as such, provided I continue to exercise discernment and intuition and moving forward in my life, and I continue to make these new patterns permanent by reprinting and reprogramming and rewiring over and over and over through repetition, I become a new person. I elevate and I shed that aspect of myself. I've dealt with that lesson. I've been able to master something within myself, and I don't have to look back anymore. These lessons are very important for the reasons that I have just mentioned, but they're also important because oftentimes we can find ourselves in relationship cycles because, and I've talked about this on the channel before, why relationships? Because relationships are the way in which we come to know self. Relationships are the way in which Spirit teaches us the lessons that we need to learn so that we understand the smoother path to navigating life. We have to interact with life. Now, when we do this unconsciously, we end up living a very unhappy life, and we end up being a victim to not only ourselves but to our circumstances and to other people. But when we move through these consciously and we can identify these patterns and we can identify the reasons why people are in our life, then we are able to see and exercise a greater degree of control and free will agency over our destiny. The fate is the meeting. The destiny is what you do with the meeting. The fate you cannot control. The destiny you have autonomy and free will agency over. So this is important because in these cyclical situations that we experience again and again and again through relationship patterns with people that come into our lives, sometimes it takes people a lifetime. Sometimes people never get it. Sometimes it takes you 2 or 3 similarly patterned experiences to understand what something is about and to draw parallels and to realize that you are the common denominator and that it's something that you need to change, and that the person that is in your life teaching you that lesson, albeit painful, you have to show gratitude because you and that individual signed up for that contract, whether it's you and a boss, whether it's you and your child, whether it's you and a lover, whether it's you and a spouse, whether it's you and a particular experience that you're having with your career or a customer or anything else that you might be dealing with in your life. But when we get into these patterns and we have these experiences, especially as it relates to our personal relationships, the reason why it's important to understand how vibration plays into this is because one of the things that we have to do when we understand the nature of a relationship and the fact that it's time for that situation to close out because we want to attract something different into our life, or we happen to find ourselves in a place where we're being led to leave something behind, is usually in a dynamic like that, someone resists. All right. And the resistance comes because someone feels as though they can change, or they feel as though, or you may feel that you can change in order to meet someone else's expectations, or that someone else can change in order for you to meet their expectations. And it's important to understand that change in vibration takes time. And although we need to have one of the most important ingredients, which is not just resilience, but it is the self-initiating ability and the desire to change, there's so many other components that are required that oftentimes it can be difficult to shift the energy in a relationship when two people are at opposite vibrational ends and one has come to the realization that it's time for that relationship to be severed, or there's time for a change in that connection. I say this, and I want to do a video about this, people having a change of heart and continuing in some of these cyclical kinds of situations. And the point being that because it takes a while to change a vibration, unless you're in it for the long haul and you're interested in being a therapist, a parent to someone, and continuing to have to teach them, when you have leveled up in your life and individuals that are in your energy have not leveled up, typically the vibrational shift happens and those people are either repelled from you because you have outgrown those situations and you are drawing in other potential partnerships, liaisons, and so forth and so on to move with you at that particular level of life. You're drawing in other soulmates, which can be friends, people in the workplace. Soulmates are all sorts of people we incarnate with. They're not just loving kinds of situations. So I want you to sort of think outside the box. But when those things happen, we're constantly repelling certain people and we're drawing other people nearer to us. And sometimes the people that we are repelling or that are being repelled by us, it creates tension and they're not always willing to let go. And oftentimes you may not be willing to let go because change is something, albeit the only constant in the universe, change is very difficult for people because we have attachments. And these attachments to a need for permanence and a need for control over our life, and the opposite difficulty in letting things go and accepting that life is wrought with impermanence and that things are temporary. It's easier to want to hold on to something than to let it go. It's easier to be in a place of familiarity when we need to let something go. And the same goes for those people in our lives that we are trying to release or that may be trying to release us. And this is a conversation that can work both ways. Apply it how it fits. When an energy frequency is no longer resonating, and someone is trying to hold on to you or you are trying to hold on to them, understand that until that level of growth happens, which often takes repeated experiences, if it happens at all, the likelihood of that relationship being a success is very, 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 very small. And you can waste a lot of time in your life trying to do breakdown maintenance. All right, when someone is not on your level. When someone is on your level and you vibrate at the same frequency, life is able to develop a momentum and you are able to move forward with ease. There's not this rise and fall stuff that you hear me talking about, this karmic nature to certain situations, the trials and tribulations sometimes that you can run into even in a twin flame situation, because I've told you too many times, sometimes a twin flame situation puts you on your divine life purpose, and it isn't always for the purpose of union with that person in this lifetime. All right. Sometimes the soul is seeking soulmate relationships. There's a certain amount of ease and forward momentum that comes when you are looking for your complement, whether that is the perfect position that you're supposed to be in for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, whether it is a particular relationship, whether it is a business partnership, whatever it is, if you're vibrating on the same frequency, it's something that happens with a greater level of ease. When you are not and you're resisting it, it is so important to understand that a person cannot change their frequency just at will. It doesn't happen that easy. Our frequency is based on our thoughts, the energy we carry, our emotional configuration, chemical releases that hold these things in place, our wiring in terms of neuroplasticity and epigenetics is based on the totality of who we are. And in order to overhaul those things, it takes time and effort. So I make this video today to impress upon you, if you have something in your life that you need to let go of, that is an energy that has become toxic to you, or an energy that has caused you to stagnate, let that energy go, even if it's for the immediate future. Even if in the long term you may come back into orbit with that individual once certain experiences have been had and a certain amount of growth has happened, and then perhaps the two of you can move forward. And that's not always possible. But to continue to stay in something that is not working, that doesn't look like it has a chance of working because there's not the staying power, or there's not the reprogramming or the rewiring that has to happen to make change more permanent and less superficial, that can be a waste of your time. So ask yourself, what is it in my life that I need to let go of? Look at the landscape of your life. Look at where you feel uncomfortable. Look at where you feel stagnant. Look at something cyclical that has been ongoing that really has not transformed. Look at the cost, the opportunity cost of staying in a situation that is no longer serving you, and make a choice to level up. Make a choice to release that energy so that you can then draw to you the abundance that is waiting right outside of the vortex that you are currently in, so that you can move those blessings into your life. I want to take a moment to just pull a oracle card to give you something further to think about. And I'm going to use the astrology deck. And I've enjoyed talking to you today. Please leave your comments if you have a question, or if there's something in this video that you particularly resonate with, that maybe I can assist with. And stay tuned for the next few videos. I want to do a video on fate and destiny. We have here Leo energy. Beautiful energy here, the Leo, the lion. Shout out to all the fire signs. Okay, this is a call to step into the energy of empowerment. This is the call to step into your inner strength. This is also the call to alignment within, which is spirit, mind, body. Okay, heart over intellect, or heart and intellect coming into union. A unifying energy that helps you overcome any challenges that you may have in your life. Okay, so I want to read that message in case there's something else in it for you. Okay, planetary ruler is the sun. All right, you may be in a space right now of growth and expansion, and in order for you to really bring that energy in, this is solar plexus energy. This is the manifestation a gateway. In order for you to bring that energy in, it's important for you to step into your power, and for you to be aligned, and for you to take action. It's a perfect card for this season. A lion's great roar signals the arrival of our fifth sign, Leo. Leadership, courage, and honesty are the traits you find with Leo when they are working in a positive mindset. But if they slip into a negative one, their energy can turn boastful, demanding, and rigid. This is a lesson they will repeatedly face throughout their lives. Okay, this is where we express our creative energy, our determination, our courage, and our confidence. That's the energy of the solar plexus. Okay, as you may have heard me say before, when we receive our divine inspiration through our crown, and we receive the liberating energy from the lower chakras up, when they meet, They move outward through our transformative and breakthrough energy of the solar plexus. This is your masculine energy. This is you standing in your power. This is you moving towards your goals. This is you embracing that breakthrough power in order to shift your energy into something that is more attuned and akin to the essence of what is your makeup. Leo's appearance means it's time to take pride in your accomplishments. You are in the spotlight and you earned it, so be proud of that. You could think of the lion in the jungle, flaunting his regality and his royalty and just being his or her beautiful self. While you should be careful not to let success go too much to your head, a little bit of ego signals to others that you know your worth. You should not be playing the supporting actor in the movie of your own life. I love that. You should be the star. It is important to remember that while you are doing well or earning some sort of recognition, there are people waiting on the sidelines hoping for you to fall. It is an unfortunate reality, so keep your wits about you. If you do trip, keep your head held high and don't let them see you sweat. Beautiful message for you. I hope that you found something you could embrace that will empower you as you move through your week this week. You're with Tanisha Ali, helping you to gain clarity, up-level your mindset. Okay, shifting into a manifestation and abundance vortex. You can reach me at IamMelaninMagic.com, ButterflyTransformations.com, Hidaya Reiki. You can also join me on Patreon. Have a beautiful, peaceful, productive, and prosperous day. If you have not purchased my book in the background over there, Manifesting Your Masterpiece, add it to your healing and manifestation library. You won't be sorry. Lots of love to you. Tell me if you got that. I love y'all. Thank you for supporting the channel.